What are the top traits of a good coach? Well, we're going to talk about those coming up right now. Welcome everyone, Michael Finley here with another episode of Leadership Roll Call, where we give you tips, suggestions, and recommendations on how you can become a more effective leader. Our topic today is effective coaching. Now, we all know that effective coaching produces employee engagement, commitment, and better performance. Yet many managers out there are lacking in basic coaching skills. So our topic today is, what are those skills that you can employ to be a more effective coach? I'm sure many, if not all of you out there, has had one good coach in their life. It could have been a parent or a teacher or a good boss or even a sports coach. And there was probably one trait that resonated over all of them. I'd like to ask you to share that trait. Please put in the comments below that one trait that your good coach had that resonated with you so that we could share with everyone else. So let's start with some basic traits that an effective coach has. Number one is they're positive. Now think about this. We want our employees to be better performers, right? So if the culture is one of blaming the employee or condescending toward an employee or just barking out orders, that employee is not going to be very effective and they're not going to perform very well. So a coach needs to be positive in their approach. Instead of barking out an order and saying, "Joe, I need you to get those reports to me by the end of the week," you need to say, "Joe, what do we need to do differently to ensure that those reports get submitted by the end of the week?" The first one is negative language, and it's barking out orders. And the employee's not going to be very motivated to do that. The second version, where we ask Joe what needs to be done differently, it creates a conversation, but it's also a positive tone, and it empowers Joe to do this. So an effective coach and a good leader is positive. The second trait that an effective leader needs to be is a good listener. Now, if a manager always just barks out orders, it's a one-way conversation, then again, the employee is not going to be very motivated to do anything. An effective coach is one that listens to the employee. Maybe there's a resource out there that the employee doesn't have and they can't do their job. Maybe the employee is trying to do something new, has a different approach to something, but the manager doesn't want to listen to it. An effective coach is one that listens to their employee. Now, I'm not saying that you need to accept excuses, but an effective coach listens to the employee. This creates good communication, and it creates respect between the manager and the employee. The third trait an effective coach needs to have is to create that culture of trust. So an employee needs to know that if they mess up, the manager has their back. Look, everybody makes mistakes. We're human, right? Employees have good days and they have bad days. They're going to make mistakes. But if that manager creates that culture of trust, that employee knows that if they come to the manager to let them know beforehand of something bad that's happened, that they're not going to get barked at. So that good manager, that effective coach, creates that culture of trust where that employee knows that that manager has their back. I'm not saying that we accept excuses, but the employee knows that it's not the end of the world that they've made a mistake, that the manager has their back, that they're going to be supportive, and that the manager trusts that employee to get the job done. So create that culture of trust. Another trait of an effective coach is they are focused. Now, you've had and I've had managers that give vague directions, right? They'll say something about, you need to show more value, or you need to move the needle. Well, when a manager uses vague terms like that, the employee walks away frustrated and unsure of what they need to do because it has different meanings to different people. An effective coach is one that is specific. They are focused in what they're doing, and they give specific direction of what needs to be done. So as a good manager and as an effective coach, make sure that you're focused on what needs to be done and be specific in relaying this information to the employee. And the last trait we're going to talk about today is an effective coach is respectful. Our workforce today is the most diverse workforce in history. An effective coach is one that is respectful of gender, race, ethnicity. They don't just tolerate it, they embrace it. They celebrate this. And as we know, each employee is different. So the same tactic that a manager uses in their coaching is not going to work for every employee. They adjust to the employee. So an effective coach and a good leader is one that is respectful of all their employees. Being an effective coach is not something that happens overnight. It comes with time and experience. But if you work on these things, you will be on your way to becoming an effective coach. So I hope this brief overview was beneficial to you. If you have a question about this topic or any topic that you would like to see in the future, please put it in the comments section below. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to our channel. Until next time, good luck with being an effective coach.